Oh, good, we're live. All right, let me just finish getting set up here, guys. I'm sweating to death, for sure. And where the hell is my drink? Up here. Hi. Oh my God, look at me. I'm sweating to death. It's like 80 degrees up here. Actually, I think it's more like 90 up here. All right. Now, move those. Hang on. I really want that light on because I want to make sure there's as much light in front of us as we can to give my idiot phone a chance to focus in when we want it to. Okay, glasses. I need my glasses. Hi, guys. So, on my way home, I must say, I was working till 7:30 tonight, and I've been working pretty much all day on this video. You know, studying and figuring out what I was going to cover and what cards and all that kind of stuff. Phew. But I must say that I made a decision on my way home that I'm just done. Work is just pissing me off so bad. And in talking to the X-ray girl tonight, I decided that they have taken everybody else's feelings about what office they want to be in and stuff to heart, except for mine. They never even bothered to ask me if I could do evenings, much less when I could do evenings. They just put me on the schedule, and I'm supposed to bend over and take it. So I think I'm just going to go in on Thursday. I am back at the main office again, and tell my boss, you know what, I have a job. I have another full-time job that I do in the evenings, which is my channel, and it means a lot to me, and it does actually make me money sometimes, and that's what I am focused on in the evening, and I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done. Because everybody else seems to, they've taken everybody else's account. I just talked to the X-ray girl, said that the per diem tech, who is the newest tech we have, there's only 3 of us that have been put on the evening shift out of all the techs. She's the newest tech, and she's per diem. And the X-ray girl said to me tonight, yeah, she said, you know, Janine said, I don't want to do this all the time. Yeah, I don't really care. Thanks, but you're being put in my office, so I have to come out here. No. You know what? I'm done. Because, like, then I get home and I race around. I'm trying to pull all the decks out that I wanted to use and all that stuff. And I just don't have the time that I need to set everything up. And I haven't eaten. And, I'm like, yeah, you know what? This is my focus in life now. So everybody is just going to have to figure it out, since they only have 3 of us that they have put on that shift. They either can make it so I only have to do this once every 8 weeks, which is, there's at least that many more techs that should have to do it too, or I'm done. I'm done. Done. Okay, now let me get live chat up here so I can see all you lovely people. And I have a circle of death. I hope you guys don't have a circle of death. And I'm trying to figure this out because I can't turn around. There we go. That's a little better. I need a big circular desk. Drop the mic. Yeah, I'm just done. Okay, so hold on. Let me refresh. There we go. There it is. Yay. I've been telling your manager, Kick Rex. I tell you what, Pat, and I keep saying this, I'm this close. If I could figure out my health care, I'd be out. I would do this full time, and I Because if I devoted that time into readings and stuff, I think I could get enough to sustain myself. But healthcare is tricky, and in the United States, if you don't have healthcare and you're the age that I am, I have prescriptions and stuff that would be like $300 a month were it not for my health insurance. So I just can't. But I'll get there. All right. Love those earrings. Thank you. Thank you. I put a little bling on. Okay, let me go back to the beginning real quick. Hi, TLC, putting on the glitz. Renee, Bookline S. Hi. Who did that? Groon. Thank you. You are such a generous heart, Dee Dee. Thank you so much. I did not mean that to be a give me money thing though. But thank you. I so appreciate you, all of you, so much. You all have such generous souls. And that's what I mean. I know I would be okay if I did this full time, except for my healthcare. I just have to figure out my healthcare, that's all. And then I would figure it out. I feel like the universe would take care of me. I know it would happen. So thank you, Dee Dee. Aw, thank you. Love yous. Okay, how is everybody? You know what? I'm not going to go all the way backwards, guy. Hi, Lee. Hi. Oh, long hair, skinny-eyed toe. My favorite. I just love that. We're self-employed and pay $32,000 for insurance and deductible per year. See? I couldn't do that. I just couldn't do that. So I'm really hoping, I hate to say this, not to be political again. No, it doesn't. Pete's doesn't have health yet. I think maybe after a year, he's working at, oh my God. What's Lowe's, but not Lowe's? Is it Home Depot? Yeah. It's terrible. He's working at Home Depot full time. But I think after a year, he might be eligible for health care. For just premiums is not right. I know it's terrible. It is a national embarrassment. And again, not to get political or anything, but at this point, I really hope that a Democrat gets in the office, because I'm really hoping that they figure out something for universal health care. This is crazy. It's crazy. The amount of money that we have to pay and then hope that we can not go broke is just crazy. So hello everyone else that I missed. Sherry, hi. And Ayana, hello. First time catching it live. Yay. Hi, Emma Scott. Welcome. Ayana and Emma, we got new people here. I love it. Luna's here. Hi, Luna. She's home and she's starting to feel better, and her heart transplant went wonderfully, and we love the fact that she's doing so well. I just love it. Uh-oh, Marge, sorry. What happened? Oh no, Marge, what? What did I miss? Marge, where's Marge? I hate this darn thing. It skips on me. Oh, wait. It skipped. I just saw something for Marge and then it skipped. Wait. Thank you for catching that photo in the group. No problem, Deb. I was like, oh, I wanted to see, because I was waiting. I was hoping that people would post what they wanted. I'm here, but in really bad shape. I had run out of meds and just getting back on. Oh, Marge, I'm sorry. Oh, that's so hard. So hard. Yes, so this is a new format. So we're starting all over, starting from the beginning. Do I have any admins in here yet? I can't remember. Steven, I am assuming, oh good, Hexen's here. I'm assuming Steven is not going to be here, poor thing, because it's like, I don't know, 1:30 in the morning or something for him. Steven, I feel so bad that you have to be up this late. Sorry. Okay. Awesome. All right. Deb, I'm going to put you on, honey. Whoops. Because you're the first one I see on here. Wait, damn it. If I can remember how to do it. Here we go. Add monitor. There. Okay. It's okay. That's all right. I know Steven should be sleeping, poor thing. But he's such a good egg. I just love Steven. He helped me today with this new. So we are doing, this is a new format. We're doing some ideas. I have to say, Anne from the group gave me some really great ideas. And so I tried to implement as many of them as I could into it because I really liked all the ideas. And is my computer stuck? There it is. Okay. So we are doing this kind of new format. And I'm really excited about it because there's, oh no, shit. See, I knew I was going to forget a couple things. So the first thing is, now let me find what I'm looking for. Sorry if you can see my bouquet. Nope, that's not it. Before and after. I forgot we were going to incorporate before and after and the new visions in tonight's, into the same thing. Some decks have the Justice card in the Strength card spot and vice versa. Nice butt. Woo! Watch the bouquet. Yes, you can ask that. And the long and short answer of it is that it's really two different systems. The Marseille system and the Aleister Crowley system switched Strength and Justice. And it was, I think it was a matter of numerology more than anything else. I know that they had very specific reasons for it, but because I'm not real good at, sorry guys, I gotta talk and think at the same time, and sometimes that's difficult for me. I gotta find my New Visions tarot. Where the hell is it? All of my decks here that I have pulled, and I just dumped my Ostara Terra. Yep. Okay, we might have to live without New Visions because I don't see it immediately right off the bat, and I don't know where the hell I would have put it, but right here. It's probably right in front of my face, and I'm just thinking the box looks like something else. But anyways, so I'm going to explain that. Hang on, give me a minute. All right, here we go. I'm trying to pull up the post because, here it is. Okay. The old tarot videos is actually how I found you. Awesome. All right, well, we're starting. New Vision Tarot is my newest deck. Awesome. And that's the one that shows, like, behind. Like you're looking at it from the other angle. And I cannot believe it wasn't in this box, which is supposed to be, unless it's in this box. No, I looked in that box. What's that? Sorry, guys. I'm trying. I'm so, I really needed just a little, oh, here it is. It is in a box that I didn't expect. Okay. So now we have all of them. All right, so this is the new format. Let's go over it real quick just so we all are on the same page and know what we're going to be doing and how each week is going to go. So we're going to be using, RWS changed it to 8 for astrology reasons. I love you, Stephen. See? For astrology. So the RWS deck took the Marseille and the RWS was almost at the same time as Aleister Crowley, wasn't it? I thought, oh no. RWS was way before that. So Crowley must have gone back to something for some reason, though. So let me start again. We're going to be doing several things in each session so that you can expect several things to happen for each session. We're going to be reading from 3 books very briefly. I'm not going to read word for word a lot of it, although I will tell you that I got a hold of Benebell today, and she is, just in case anybody's worried about the copyright thing, there's some stupid copyright thing going on with YouTube. I've never had a problem, guys. That's all I'm saying. You guys know I have read almost an entire book on here. I've never had a problem. Actually, I've read entire kids' books on here, and the authors love it because I sell them books. Anyways, Benebell has no problem with us reading from Holistic Tarot, so we will be reading from Holistic Tarot. We will be reading from The Ultimate Guide to Tarot from Liz Dean, and we will be reading from Modern Tarot from Michelle T. All 3 books I highly recommend. All 3 books are great for beginners. All 3 books are very different styles, and that's why I want to read from all 3. Like I said, I'm not going to read each, like the Justice chapter from here, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to do that. Revelations Tarot, no, but I have heard of, is that the one with, a different picture for the reversals? That one I've been looking at for a while because I thought, oh, that's interesting too. That would be really good if we were learning reversals. Now, I will tell you for this, because we're going to be doing so much, we're going to already be incorporating so much into each card. I'm not going to do reversals, I think, this time, guys, because I think it's going to end up being a long study anyways for each card. So to put the reversals in there too is kind of a lot. I might mention some, like, you know, if there's a something that comes up or something, I might mention it, but I don't want to, you know, say for sure we're doing reversals for each card, just because it's already a lot when you're beginning, you know. I am going to say, hi, Michelle. So glad you could be here too. We are studying the Justice card, and we're starting over. This is a new format, so I'm just starting out by saying what this format includes, okay? Really quickly, especially with this kind of study when we have so much to do in this study, make sure if you have questions for me specifically, put them in capital letters for me, or use that @ and put my name on it, or put one of the moderators' names on it, and they will make sure, I'll try to make sure I at least watch for the moderators' questions, because we're doing so much. I don't want to miss anything, okay? Because I want, part of the reason I like this, the format that we had been using, is because your input makes it so we all learn different things, because we all are looking at things differently. Okay. So we're going to be reading passages from each of those 3 books at least. I will also pull in some other books if things come up, okay? There will be an event on the Facebook page for every card. Every time we're going to do a new card, I'm going to make a new event so that, one, we're going to, at the end of each thing, we're going to draw randomly the card for the next week's tarot study. So you will all know by the time we get off tonight what we're going to study next week. So that gives you the opportunity to do a couple things. To study yourself. It gives you the opportunity to look at all the decks that you have and all the decks online and stuff, and post in the event if there's a card that you don't understand that you want me to try to cover. If there's a card that you really love, like your favorite Justice card, if I have it, I can try to pull it out and we can talk about it. We can talk about different ways to look at the card. And after we do this study, it will be a way to keep track of what we've done. And we can always go back in later and ask a question like, hey, when we did this Justice card, I thought of this, question. And that's a place that we could put all the questions for the Justice card on that event. Okay, so there will be a new event every week for the card we're doing. At the end of the study, we're going to talk about what it could mean in a spread. If so, we want to specifically look at if you're doing an actual reading for someone else, what would you say to them? What would you say to them if it was for a love reading? What would you say if you pulled this card for a business reading? What would you say if you pulled this card for a general life reading? So we want to put it in context of if we're going to be this weekend in the mountains. I had a fall and twist in my ankle. Ooh, and a bruise on your hip. Ooh, sweetheart. Do me a favor, Shauna, just because I don't see my little notepads. Message me when we're done, and I will put you in there, I promise. Hi, Justin. Hi, Manase. So money, job. That way we can, it'll be a way to talk about if you're doing a card reading, what would you say if you pulled this card? Okay, so we want to really look at that. We're going to do the before and after card. We're going to do right in the same reading or in the same study. So we're going to try to incorporate as much as we can into this card. And the very last thing we do before we say goodnight tonight is to pull the card for next week. We're still going to pull cards from different decks and talk about what they mean, how they're different, how they're same, that kind of thing. Okay? Does everybody understand? Feel good about it? I kind of really love this, and I thanked Anne so much for helping, putting those suggestions in, guys. I love your suggestions, and especially, if you have a suggestion on format kind of stuff that maybe this could work a little better. I love that. So that's what we're going to do. So I, this morning, pulled a random card, and it happened to be the Justice card. Being a Libra, of course, this is my card. I did not do that on purpose. It just happened. Is this the first card of this new format? Yes, it is. This is the first time we're using the new format. So this is the first card. There is an event already made in the Facebook group. And so you can, again, afterwards, you can go and post your favorite Justice cards. You can, all that kind of stuff. I also want to make sure that you click on the new event. Once we pick the card tonight at the end, I'll make up that event tonight for next week. And you can click on that event and post in there your favorite Justice cards. Hey, I had a question about the Justice card, this thing. Hey, what if this happens? All right. So we are going to be using I will tell you, the only deck that I'm going to say will come up every single time. Well, that's not true. There's 4 cards that should come up every single week. The first one is the RWS card that we're going to base all of the rest of our knowledge off of, because we're doing RWS system to start out with. So I'm going to use the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, which is the Dirty Pam Borderless edition. I have used the Dirty Pam a lot. Yes, this is the way I'm going to teach it. I have used this RWS deck a lot. I really like the color scheme of it. To me, this is the Dirty Pam Borderless. And Dirty Pam, that came from Kelly Bear. Kelly Bear is the one that started calling it the Dirty Pam. So now it's the Dirty Pam Borderless. Okay. So let's start. I always like to start with the ultimate guide. Because this gives you the symbolism and tells us what the symbolism behind all kinds of stuff is, okay? So here is the Justice card. In different decks, it can also be called Adjustment and Balance. I've seen it called Balance, Adjustment. There's a couple others that I have pulled to look at tonight, specifically because it's called something else. All right, it is number 11 in the RWS system. Some other decks, it is number 8 instead. It has a numerological link with the High Priestess. The atmospheric, yeah, I love the atmospheric. And why is it linked with the High Priestess? Because it's the number 11, right? Then 11 is the number of balance and duality. And if you take 1 and 1, it's 2, which is the High Priestess. Also, there's a lot of things in common with the High Priestess here. We have the veil in between. There's the 2 pillars on either side. And the veil in between, that's very High Priestess. It is the Libra sign is what is the astrological sign. It is the element of air. So the key meanings here are balance, perception, and objectivity. Justice is one of the simplest cards to understand at first glance. The female figure is seated between 2 pillars on a ceremonial podium. This is the judge, or the virtue, justice personified, holding the traditional symbols of the law, an upright sword in her right hand and the scales in her left. Clad in the red robes of office, her right foot is forward and her pose is alert, as if she is about to pronounce judgment in court. Unlike traditional justice figures, Tarot's justice is not blindfolded. Her vision is clear. The card favors those who are deserving, shown by the scales of mercy, but seeks retribution for past wrongs, symbolized by the sword of retribution. Justice is delivered through logical procedures and is focused on the mind rather than the emotions. Remember that, because that's important. That's something that I tend to leave out of most of my readings, that it's focused on the mind. We have to, in order for justice to prevail, we kind of have to try to leave our emotions out of it. Or at least have very balanced between emotion and logic, right? However, there is perhaps more to justice than meets the eye. Although justice wears red, symbolizing the material world she lives in, the card's background is yellow for enlightenment, suggesting the guidance of a higher divine power. The card design with a central figure between 2 pillars is intentionally similar to those of the Hierophant and the High Priestess, suggesting duality and knowledge. Justice is one of the 4 cardinal or essential virtue cards of the tarot. The others are strength, temperance, and prudence. The original prudence card of the early tarots has disappeared, but its meaning may be preserved in justice. An old interpretation of prudence is wisdom rather than caution. For example, in the conjunct word jurisprudence, the theory and study of law. Okay. So the upright meaning here is there will be a positive outcome. This is a time when past errors or imbalances can be redressed. You benefit from a fair system, provided you are accountable, honest, and deserving. Equally, you may be the judge in your own life, using your perspective and integrity to make good decisions that will safeguard your future. You may make a moral stand on an issue that affects you and those around you. In legal matters, a decision is made or a ruling is given which goes in your favor. Justice will be done and order restored. On a spiritual level, justice shows the working out of karma, or actions and consequences. Justice shows logical, considered influence. It is a welcome arrival in your reading if life has felt chaotic. And I'm going to stop there because I don't want to go on to what we're going to do towards the end with that. I'll bring my notebook next week, right? Jurisprudence, right? Yes. Yep. It's actually one word, Juris, prudence. So it must be the Latin kind of in there. This card is perfect for your work situation. Yes, it is, isn't it? Karmic justice is coming. I promise you, it's coming. So there are a whole bunch of stuff I printed out. I'm gonna read from Modern Tarot first, and then we'll kind of go through some of these worksheets. I also have to say, Benebell she's such a dream. I just love her. She's such a good person. This is the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, is the card that we're starting out with. And the first book that I was reading from was Liz Dean's Ultimate Guide to the Tarot. Benebell, when I got a hold of her, is so gracious. She's like, yes, please do read from my book all you want. And if you want to use, she has free worksheets on her site, benebellwen.com, that are amazing. And I printed some of them out. I'll show you towards the end. And she said, feel free to use them too. She's great. She's just such a sweetheart. So, love her. So the second book that I would like to read some from at least every week, because it's such a good book, guys. It's a good book in plain language. I always say this book is... I'm a child. I love a worksheet. Me too. I hear ya. This book is like you're talking to a girlfriend. You know, this is not one of those higher up, high knowledge books. It's awesome. It totally gets me the meaning, but it's like I'm chatting with, you know, you guys. It's not like you know, this is what this means. It's very personable. I like this book. When the Justice card comes into your realm, issues of fairness, quite possibly the concept of justice itself, is up for you. The tarot traditionally treats justice as a real, true, solid thing. Optimistically, it believes that justice prevails, but most of us know that such a belief is naive, often dangerously so. We live in a world where legal systems are corrupt and laws are unfair and unequally enforced. Huge social movements have come into existence for the sole purpose of combating unjust justice. The justice system that the tarot represents, judges, lawyers, police, courtrooms, jails, does not uphold the values of fairness, justice, and the victory of right over wrong. What does value the optimistic tone of the card are social justice movements. People driven by fairness and seeking justice by taking to the streets, working to change policy to free wrongly incarcerated individuals, to banish unfair laws and create new ones that actually help people. The figure of justice holds a sword in one hand, blade up, to demonstrate victory, and the scales of justice in the other, reminding us that our analyses, now I lost my, our analyses, where is it? Oh, always need to be tempered by mercy, compassion, and heart. The symbolism embedded in the clasp that fastens the cloak of justice. So hopefully you can see that clasp is a protective square that protects the circular unity of community. In this understanding of justice, that square protects the people from the abuses of those in power, especially those in charge of our judicial systems, from the police in the streets to the judges who sit on the highest courts. Now that I've brought a little justice to the tarot, let me tell you how getting the Justice card could shake down for you. Generally, it means that an ethical or moral issue has come into your sphere and you are having to deal with it. Maybe you are directly involved, you've been done wrong, or someone feels you've done them wrong. Maybe you've witnessed an injustice and it's giving you feelings. Whatever side of the conflict you're on, the Justice card beseeches you to act fairly. Now isn't the time for vengeance or martyrdom. It's not time for gossip or defensiveness. The Justice card asks us to sit with ourselves and meditate on the issue at hand. How did we or did we not play into it? How might we have handled it differently? How we will conduct ourselves in the future. We see in the larger world how conflict begets conflict. It doesn't occur to us that our own smaller spheres are subject to the same chain reactions, but they are. Justice asks you to work for peace, for justice. So that is the Modern Tarot, which brought up so many good points. When I see the Justice card, because I'm a Libra, I always think of myself, of those social inequalities, those social justice things that I am always fighting for. But it doesn't always have to be that big. Maybe it's because I'm a Libra, but just the word justice gets me fired up. Absolutely. I'm with you. I'm right there with you. I'm that too. There's so many of us Libras in here all the time. Then we're all the same. Fighting for that justice. Okay, and finally Benebell, who, as I said, is just, I just adore her. She's just the most amazing. So this is Holistic Tarot. This book, I will tell you guys, if you do not have it, this book, I call it the tome. This is the tome of tarot because it's huge, okay? Definitely a book, you know, that you are not going to want to sit down and read from cover to cover. It is a book I refer to all the time, though. All the time, because Benebell is amazing. And she's smart as hell. Okay. She sits between two stone pillars, a curtain behind her. In a red robe, she wields an erect sword in one hand. By the way, what kind of sword is this? She seems to be holding the as above, so below. Yes, 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 yes. I love that. For sure. I always get that feeling, too, that's kind of like with the magician. She's pulling down that justice from above. This is not, this is like actual universal justice, right? There's got to be. I'm sure, Pat, that you could find Holistic Tarot on the double-edged sword of retribution. Margie Rock. There it is right there. The double-edged sword. And what does the double-edged sword stand for? It stands for the duality, first of all, because it's double-edged. That's the duality. It represents the two sides of justice. One side is protection for the good, and the other side is the retribution for the bad. So it's the double-edged sword of standing up for the justice, for equality, for the social injustices, for the good, and the retribution for the bad. Double-edged sword. Don't forget that. Because that's the same for us. Okay, the theme of justice is external balance. The Justice card can suggest that balance will be restored in the seeker's life, or that there is balance to the conditions in his or her life. But it is hard for the seeker to see that at the moment. The outcome that will best bring balance to the seeker's life is the one that should occur. Consider the theme of equilibrium or judgment and how it applies to the situation at hand. If you compare this to the temperance is about internal balance. It's about balancing what's inside of you, balancing your work and your home life. Temperance is very much about balancing everything in your life internally. Justice indicates that justice, fairness, and a detached impartiality are critical influences or factors in the current situation. The curtains symbolize a separation of states of consciousness. So that veil is the separation. Internal, aka your chakra. Absolutely. A traditional interpretation of the Justice card is the presentation of a decision that needs to be made by the seeker. The seeker is urged to make that decision fairly, with impartiality, with integrity. Justice is about making an ethical decision that involves an external condition. an ethical decision that involves an external condition, others who matter to the seeker, or a situation outside of the seeker. The Justice card could indicate that lawsuits will be won or disputes resolved. Upright, the verdict that is rendered will be fair to the seeker. In reverse, the verdict that is rendered will seem unfair, but is in fact the objective and fair decision. Consider, this is a big part of it right here. Ready? Hi, Wendy. Consider Newton's third law of motion. To every action, there is always an equal and opposite reaction. The forces of two bodies on each other are always equal and are directed in opposite directions. So that balance will come around, right? That karmic balance. When the seeker has exerted a particular force, there will be another force exerted against it, one equal in magnitude and opposite in direction, that will create the external equilibrium in the seeker's life that is needed in the given situation. Okay, so let's stop there. And we'll start to look at cards, okay? Actually, I'm going to look at our worksheets real quick. And see if my notes, if there was something that we need to go through first. Reaching goals. All right, so here it is. Okay, so I like a lot of these very quick images, because to me, being ADD and a Libra, and I need to have balance, these quick images that I find on Pinterest, they say a lot to me, and sometimes they trigger stuff that I'm like, oh yeah. So this one says, Justice, remember when King Solomon was going to cut that baby in half? Yeah, the truth will out. So what happened to King Solomon? Then this one has an affirmation. I love this. The affirmation for Justice is, I generate peace and harmony and bring it with me wherever I go. So if you're looking for an affirmation and you pull that Justice card, that's our affirmation for this. Here's Justice's mantra is, I am perfection and equity manifest. I am all that you bring to others, mirrored back to you in kind. I will show you the beautiful perfection of your own spirit. I am justice, the even balance of all things, and I manifest truth. Love that. Love that. The double-edged sword, we talked about that. The scales, logic balanced by intuition. In many decks, not in this one, but in many decks, that curtain behind her is purple. And there's a reason for the purple curtain behind her, which some people say is compassion. I was always taught that the purple was that knowledge. It was about awakening. You suddenly get new knowledge. In a world of scarcity, not every claim can be met. Justice, in theory, sets forth a system to judge between the claims. The double-edged sword, we talked about. A crowned figure sits between stone pillars of justice, representing decisions, responsibility, rationality, logic, reason, jurisprudence, realism, and objectivity. The scales of justice showing us we get what we deserve in regards to help and punishment in just the right amounts, not too much and not too little. Synchronicities. Similar to the High Priestess, the pillars. It's also similar to, who else, what other woman is sitting with her sword straight up in the air in the tarot? There's another woman who sits very similar on a throne. with her sword straight up in the air. I'm sure. Yep, Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords, right. It is also, like I said before, it is very similar to the High Priestess. Did I pull? I thought I pulled the High Priestess, which I could have, and I just can't find it. All right. Oh, wait. Ha, it's right here. Duh. Very similar to both of these. Right? Between two pillars for the High Priestess, the veil behind her, and the Queen of Swords, that sword sitting straight up in the air. So when you think about why it's similar, you're going to think about, try to pull some of your emotions back. Like the Queen of Swords, we have to kind of think logically when we're making justice kind of decisions. That's what the Sword of Duality means. And then the High Priestess, we're balancing between. Okay? All right, any questions up until this point? Rain on the just and unjust alike. I always love that. Good. We are all answerable to the law. Duality. I'll get to that when we get to the Al-Goliath. I actually pulled the Al-Goliath card. This could very, very, very easily mean that you have some legal issue. So if you're pulling cards, actual cards for people, you could say, do you have a legal situation or no? Because if you don't have a legal situation, okay, that's fine. This is not about that then. But you could say, yeah, there's a legal situation that I'm dealing with right now. And this is it. I heard somebody say crystals. Crystals that work with the energy card, absolutely. Emerald, aventurine, a lot of the greens. Greens work really well with justice. Sorry, guys. Ametrine. Ametrine is a duality stone. What else? Lapis lazuli, for some reason, is a very justice-oriented stone also. Okay. One of the things, let me just quickly, before we move on to other of these cards, I'm having trouble different between this card, meaning balance, and the Two of Pentacles about balance as well. Okay, we'll talk about that. Hold on. Two of Pence. We'll talk about that. Let me get through this. On Benabelle's site, she has a download that you can print out flashcards, which are awesome, I have to say. They come out like this. So you have to print front and back. You have to have the capability of printing front and back. And they print out like this so you can cut them and have the meanings on the back for both the reversals and the uprights. And then she has that on the back. So, definitely go to Benabelle's site. She has so much. These are a bunch of, I printed out all the flashcards because I figured I'd do that. We can have flashcards or something at some point. Okay, let me really quickly, because here's the thing. I do want to do the before and after for everyone, but if we look at, we're at 49 minutes, right? So, I don't want to spend 2 hours for every card. It might be close, though, I'll be honest with you. It could be close. So what I'm not going to do is read the books from the before and after, unless we really are like, damn, I don't get it. What the hell is that supposed to be? And then we'll pull it out, okay? And normally I'll have this done, but because I had to work, I don't. So I'm sorry. Longer videos have more info. Oh, I know, Pat, but I can't tell you how many times you can't please everyone. I get all the time, I get people that come on that are like, I just can't watch your videos because you you know, you're always over a half an hour, and I lose interest after half an hour. I just can't do it. I get people, I had people that came on that were mad at me last week because I was hitting the you know, hitting the phone with the tarot cards, because of course my stupid phone wouldn't what do I want to say? Oh, wouldn't focus. And I'm like, well, guys, I don't know what to tell you. I don't have the money to have a great camera, so that's what we're getting. I know, I do, and I do me. I do me. All right, so here we go. The before. Shit, what did I do with the actual card now? Oh, yeah. I'm such a professional, guys. Mama's wearing Bronco colors. Oh, don't make me strip right now, girl. Here it is. All right. So the before, here's, oh, was that lightning? I hope. That will cool it off. Here's the before. Is this backwards? Yes, it should be this way. Okay. So here's the before. So the before has what? What's the difference? Skyclad tarot, tarot teachings, right? So she hasn't picked up the sword yet. She has the dove. So, and the dove has the laurel, not the laurel wreath. It's probably the, what is it? The olive branch, right? Yes. Dove of peace and the olive branch. And so she's saying she's going to be fair. The decision that she's about to make, she's going to be fair with this. She has not picked up the sword yet, that double-edged sword. She is weighing the options, and she is letting this dove go to say, hey, this is going to be a fair decision. It'll work out. So then after she has made her decision here, and here the people are bowing in front of her. Thank you so much. Thank you for resolving this. Yes, bring peace. Yep. Thank you. We bow to your decision. You made a great decision. You're a just queen. You're a just lawmaker, judge. Okay, so that should help the before and after. Now, finally, the back of the card. This card shows what's, so this, if this is in front, off with their heads. This is looking from the back. So, you know, they pull the veil down, otherwise you just see the veil. But see, she has children and a baby here, which, you know what, could, you know, say why she, rich and poor treated equally. Oh, I love it, Stephen. That's a good one. This could say why she is just and fair. She knows what it's like to raise children, to have to deal with the, hey, he's touching me, stop touching me. He said, da, da, da. He did it first. You guys who are parents, you know how you have to figure out what, you know, what the truth is in there and try to be just and fair. And boy, that's a good standing ground to go into that profession. You certainly have, by the time you have raised children, the truth is always in the middle. That's right. Okay, so there's several cards that I wanted to pull. I decided I'm not going to pull the same decks out that we have always done, unless there's one that you really wanted to see again, unless there's, you know, I'm going to try to do a little bit different decks. The only thing I didn't pull out this time, I didn't find an animal tarot that I thought Oh, no, I did. I did the Bohemian Animal one that I just got. But I want to try to do at least one animal tarot too, because it kind of makes things different. But, so I got lots of different justice cards. Let's talk about what they are. Some of them, actually, let's do the ones I don't want to read the books for. There's a couple that I'm like, oh, the books are really good for this. Okay, this is one. I have to pull this one because it's absolutely one of my favorite justice cards. Eva Maid. Favorite. Love it. Do you all know who this is? It's one of Mama Squirrel's goddesses. It was my first goddess. So in the Egyptian pantheon, there's two people that have this same responsibility. And yep, it is Maat and Anubis. And to be honest, is Sarana in here? I thought, did I see Sarana? I might have. I have never done the research to figure out what the difference is. Like, is there certain people that go to Maat and certain people that go to Anubis? I never am clear on who, if you decide which one you go to, if they decide. She was in early. You know what? She said she was cleaning. So she might be here in the background someplace. I just was wondering if she knew what the difference is. Maat is, and it's, for me, the story is very much similar, whether you're talking about Anubis or you're talking about Maat. It is they will take your heart out after you ascend, after you transition. They take your heart and they weigh it. Maat is the scales. Anubis reads them and leads the souls. I shouldn't say you're wrong, but that's not the way I learned it. Is Chase in here? Hey! How you doing, Chase? We are restarting Tarot Tuesday. Little cutie patootie. Can you put it a little bit closer? Yes, sorry. Here you go. Yes, Maat is blindfolded. And for Maat, there's a reason for that. When she doles out the justice, she does not, she is, you know what I think it is? Here it is, I think. Oh no, because it is after. Yes, it's your heart and a white feather. And so that is your deeds and your heart and how you've lived your life is weighed with a feather. And depending on what that weighs, says whether you are worthy to go. This is from the Ostara deck. And is one of my favorite justice cards of all time. Obviously, because it's Maat. Because we're an amazing family. I always get such an amazing greeting in this chat. That's right. We try to greet everyone. I thought it was, if one person was glad you lived, then you pass. Not in the Egyptian pantheon. And because Anubis does the same thing. Have you ever seen American Gods? I loved the way American Gods did Anubis. Because it was the same thing. American Gods, Anubis takes the heart from, and I love the mother. Apparently there's another one and I haven't seen it. The new series came out. Season 2 came out. And there's another one that he does this to, but I haven't seen that yet. So, but the first one that he does it to, Anubis reaches in and grabs her heart and pulls it out and puts it on the scale. And it's you know, depending on her deeds, where she's going to go. So I really liked the way they did it, though. They explained it really well. So look it up on YouTube if you can find it. I'm sure it's in there. It's American Gods, and it is Anubis takes, you know, weighs the heart or something. Neil Gaiman is a genius. I know, right? It was a great book. I haven't read the rest of them because I don't I want to see the show before reading the book, because every time I have read a book and then saw the show, I didn't like the show, because obviously the book is always better. But if I see the show and it gets me interested in the books and then I read the book, it just explains a lot more of the show. So I like it still, both. I don't know what it is, though. If I read the books first, I'm not really crazy about the show or the movie. Isn't it on Netflix? It might. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it might be the first season anyway. It's not a Netflix show. It's on FX, I think. I want to say. It's on one of the cable networks. So, but that is Maat. So that was the Ostara Tarot. This is the Crow Tarot, and I loved this one. Only 10 days to learn crystal. Yay! Shut up, Pat. You're totally going to get me off of topic, because I'm so excited for that. And do you know that same day is when that Carnival Row, or whatever it's called, on Amazon is coming out, that I'm really excited for too. So, yes, I know, right, Chase? This is, which channel does the show come on? American Gods, is that what you're talking about? I swear it is, I swear it's like FX, but I'm not certain. Oh, people are saying Stars. It's Stars. Dark Crystal comes out on Netflix the 30th, so 10 days from today. And the same day that Carnival Row comes out on Amazon, which looks amazing too. That's all about the Fey world and stuff. Yes, a new Dark Crystal, which is actually the preamble to the Dark Crystal. Right? Yes. Yes, pre. I know. I've been waiting for like 4 years we first heard about it 4 years ago. I've been dying. All right. Back to tarot, guys. Focus. You're squirreling me out, and I'm Mama Squirrel. Okay. So the Crow Tarot, I love this Justice card. Not only is it a gorgeous crow who somehow manages to still hold the sword, have a crown, a blindfold, and the scales here, but it's just aesthetically, it's a beautiful card. Yeah, the artwork is gorgeous. Truly gorgeous. And this is one of the cards I absolutely adore. I do have some problems with the Crow Tarot. Because having seen the Kickstarter edition, I want both. So my problems, Chase, with the Crow Tarot are if you see do you have the Kickstarter Tarot or the Kickstarter edition? Or this is the mass produced, which the mass produced is better for some things, but the borders on the Kickstarter deck are a part of the card. They are gorgeous. I mean, there's like actual colors, and they complement the Crow Tarot. And if you look during Tarot Stock, Ben brought his Kickstarter deck. And I think, did I do a video? But yes, the Kickstarter edition is vivid. It is. And the borders are what kills me, because I can't cut these borders off, because the way they are, they just are not going to be inducive to that. But the borders are actually a part of the card, and it makes the whole card look more like a work of art. So, however, there is one card that the Kickstarter edition screwed up completely and looks horrible, and our version looks way better. And now I can't remember what it was. Who was at Tarot Stock? Do you remember? I can't remember, because I remember Ben going, oh no, I can't do it. I can't keep this deck because it's so bad. Like it was, yes, I think it is the Emperor. The Kickstarter version of the Emperor is like blurry and awful. Do they have a Dark Crystal Tarot deck? Oh, TLC. They do not, but especially after this prequel, if we put both the prequel and the movie together, I think we should create a Dark Crystal deck. For sure. Oh my goodness, for sure. Like, absolutely. Now I'm totally, you're making me squirrel out. Okay. But, oh my gosh. Like, I have 8 million ideas. Okay, stop. But yes. And now, hold on. I have to write it down so I don't lose it. Dark Crystal Tarot. Crystal Tarot. Because Agra would be an amazing Hierophant. She is the Hierophant. To me, that's what the Hierophant is that spiritual advisor who knows everything. And she, oh my gosh, she is. Okay, sorry. Focus. Who's Ben? Ben he's in here sometimes. He is Ravenheart's husband, and he's Ben Burrisworth. He's in here. He's in our group. Okay. Hexen wanted me to include, which is great because I love this deck. This is the sweet, what the hell is it called? Tarot of the Sweet Twilight. Because it's a cool, dark, quirky deck. And I love this deck. So. Very, very interesting. So, we have the sword. The snake has the sword, technically. Hi, Rachel. Is there a Nightmare Before Christmas deck? There is actually a Nightmare Before Christmas deck on Etsy, I think. I don't know if it's out of print, but I have seen it. Talk about borders that I can't do. Oh, I know. The 8 million languages borders. Yeah. But we have the scales. We have, it's like, almost like she's the high priestess with that moon on the top here. And I'm trying to fit, okay, so she has music. So what do you guys think? Last time I looked at the MBX deck was going for nearly $500. What? Are you kidding me? It's out of print now? That's horrible. Hi, Rochelle. Did I say that already? Yes, and there's a snake too. The music. Music for harmony. There you go, Stephen. Thank you. Thank you. I like that one a lot. Okay. Someone had mentioned the Green Witch, because the Green Witch has the Standing Stone. I'm hella multitasking right now. That's okay, Chase. Also musical scales. Yes, that's true. Okay, so the Standing Stone. So before I pull the book out, which I have kept out in here on purpose, Do you guys all know what standing stones are in Ireland, right? Because this is where it's coming from. And we have the scales are right on this standing stone. But it is a different interpretation. It's not a different interpretation, but it's a different card to look at and see what we want to see from it. This is the Green Witch Tarot. So standing stones are symbols of authority. They are boundary markers, and they are monuments. As objects of power and balance, unyielding and strong, blending earth and spirit energies, they once formed a meeting place where people in a community could decide issues and settle individual disputes before the gods. So, back in the day, when they wanted to settle disputes, they would meet at the standing stones. Okay, this is where we are meeting to settle our disputes. And so that's what makes this a perfect card for this deck, because the standing stones. So this is where you go to mete out justice, to figure out what is justice in this situation. Well, let's go to the standing stones and find out. Okay. Just came home from work. Been working every night for the last 3 weeks. Ugh, poor thing. Hi, Linda. It is from the Green Witch Tarot. That one. This one is from the new deck, Bohemian Animal Tarot. Yes, absolutely. Everyday Witch would be great for learning, for sure. Hi, Dana. Welcome. So here we have consequences. So in this depiction, we actually, if you think of what these consequences mean, we have ourselves. So this fortune teller, this tarot reader, is under the, the big tent and the kind of gypsy symbolism there. But you can think of it as yourself. We are reading this querent, who happens to be a bird here, but we are meting out justice. So the consequences, we are telling them, your querent, your client, your person who comes to you for a reading, we are the justice they're looking for. We are telling them, this is what is going to happen with this situation. You made your bed, and now this is what's going to make you lie in it. That's right, the spider legs for sure. Yep. Absolutely. And what do the spider legs mean for me? What do I teach? I don't want to lead you on too much, but so the standing stone was like the witness of justice. The standing stone was the meeting place where justice would be met out. So I teach connections, right? And so when I teach connections, how do I describe connections? There is a web. There's a web that connects everyone. And you have to know which piece of the web, which line of the web you are plucking to get the vibrational energy that you want to reach out to. And so this tarot reader is a spider who has made her tent out of web for sure. Pull them all. And she's going to say, this is the piece of web right here. This is the one that will give you the justice that you're looking for. This is the vibrational energy that you need to send through that web, because on the other side is the justice that you're waiting for, and they will get that message and will send you the justice that you're waiting for, that you need, that you deserve, that you have put out there and now will come back to you. I love this Justice card. This is the consequences of your actions vibrating back to you. And we are telling them exactly what's coming back. Okay? That's a great one, right? Very different kind of card. A lot of them in Justice are very similar. So I'm going to kind of rifle through some of these, but this is the Saucy Burrito. This is the Sarah Subito deck. I feel like it's a be careful what you wish for. Yep. Ask for type of card for sure, Ayana, for sure. This is the Sarah Subito deck. So this quite literally, you're getting what you have put on there. So the feather is already there. And whatever you have put out there is literally going to come back to bite you, right? Because here's the eyeball. And if you have been put out good energy and put out good things, then it will balance just fine and you will be fine. If you have not, then the balance is going to be off. The eyeball right here, it's an eye. See, look, there's the eyebrow. If you have not, then what you have put out there will come back to bite you right in the eye. So the Sarah Subito deck, that's always a good Justice card. I happen to really like the new the Rain Coast Tarot deck. There's so much going on in this card, so I'm not going to explain all of it, but you know, we have death in the background. Kind of look at his, I love his facial expression. Hold on if we can get it. He's like, hey, is this one I get? How's it going? Do I get to pounce it? I feel like death is waiting around the corner, ready to mete out justice. If Lady Justice here says, oh, that's it. Nope. Death is going to mete out your justice. He's just waiting, ready and waiting, and can't wait to jump in there and get his job done. Good night, Luna. I love you, sweetie. Consequences, for sure. I don't know. I love that this death is like happy to be doing his job. You never really think of death like, hey, can I go? Is it my turn? Do I get to go? What's in her hair? That is her neighborhood. Death is photobombing, right? Absolutely. This is the Baba Studios Alice Tarot. Justice, again, all in her business. Again, justice is quite literally upon us, right? What we have garnered from life, we are going to get back. This is that karmic justice here. Yeah, the little mousie's about to get it. Or maybe not. Maybe the kitty decides. All right. We're going to let you go. But it is a gorgeous card. Look at the gold foil on these. God, I love this deck. It's a good deck. I'm not going to show that one. I don't. So I'm going to show two. Is that cat wearing a wig? Yes, it's the judge wig. Yep. This card is the Algoliath Tarot. This is the Justice card from the Algoliath Tarot. And this is doves. and the olive branch, and the scales of justice are there. I really love, there's something about all the birds there that just makes it a very higher quality of justice. You know what I mean? Like this is a serious meeting out of justice. This is not, he pushed me and now he's going to fall on his face. This to me is a higher, it's like a more important problem that justice is being met out. Symbol of peace, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. For sure, absolutely. Love it. And lastly, this is, again, one of my favorite Justice cards. And I'm going to read a little bit from the book about this Justice card because it's so good. Yeah, the card is that Al-Goliath Tarot. That is a huge, huge deck. But it's a good deck for this kind of stuff because you can see it really well. This one is one of my favorite Justice cards of all time. This is my Pagan Otherworlds deck. And this is why I love it. I mean, every card is like this. I love the feelings of these cards. I love the artwork, and I love what the book says about it. So it says, she moves forward with the compelling conviction that the place she is leading us to is a righteous place. But we are not there yet. It's just over the horizon, which looks a little scary, like the edge of a cliff. That's how it is with justice. In commanding red robes between scraps of humble earth and straw, she walks the line. Her eyes are focused on balance. She meets us right at that edge, where we are about to lose ourselves to anger, greed, and fear. Those barren wastelands within us where nothing grows. We need a guide to lead us out of them, to help our thoughts rise above the petty and self-serving, to bring us to a place right over the horizon that is welcoming, balanced, and tempered. She knows the way. If we want to grow, we will follow. That's why. That is just my favorite. It is like this. It is a very poetic way of making you understand what they are depicting. And again, this is MA, you're in love. I'll tell you, this was on my top 5 that I just did a couple days ago. So if you want to see more of those cards, Pagan Otherworlds. And I'll tell you guys, I could not believe, I looked it up because in that video I talked about how expensive it is. It was like one of my most expensive decks at the time. Now a lot of them are that expensive, but I think I paid over $80 for it. It's like $53 or something now, which is amazing because this is one of my go-to decks, and it's got linen cardstock, and it's just amazing. I love this deck. I love this deck for awesome cardstock, and the fact that I have figured out that I don't do well when there's too much going on in the card, because it like almost overwhelms me. It's like, okay, there's too much here for me to really dive into it. And this is it's just simple enough, but it gives you enough. And what it does give you is very poetic and beautiful. So this is one of my favorites. One of my favorites for sure. Okay, so how are we doing with, we are an hour and 24. That's not too bad. Okay. we're going to talk really quickly about different ways if it comes up in a spread, what it could mean. So, who is it? Oh, it's Lucy. Of course it's Lucy. Chatting in my background. All right, so if it comes up in, let's see, a business or career reading, justice, here we go. If justice comes up in a business or career reading, this one is fairly easy, right? We can see where it looks like there could be new contracts and new connections coming up. It's a precursor for working with others through collaborations. Justice can signal the growth of your company if it's your company. If you're on a job hunt, justice is a good sign because it predicts that you will sign contracts and make things official. Justice is fortunate for people who are in the writing, legal, or property professions. It could indicate that you should go to school for higher learning. So, or even law school. You know, justice has a lot to do with the law sometimes, right? If your career reading is all doom and gloom, and then justice serves as a warning to take care of the legal parts of your job. So pay attention to the taxes and double check the deadlines for filing your returns. Do some research on the laws in the country. Otherwise, you could find yourself in hot water. In other words, again, you kind of have to look at what cards are around it and what's the general feel of the reading to know what the feeling for this justice card is, because justice can be meeting out justice that needs to be met out, and it could be you're getting justice for good stuff that has happened, right? It could be that you need balance. That's okay, Bebo. You can watch it back, honey. In a family or social media tarot meeting, justice will appear in readings about your friends and family when they are about to defend themselves in court. Well, no duh. Expect an individual who is close to you to either be the defendant or the complainant. Justice also commonly appears in tarot readings where individuals adopt children legally. Justice signals the legalities attached to the adoption process. Health or well-being. I love when the justice cards comes up in health or well-being. It depends on, is it a negative connotation or positive, right? Justice can appear in health readings if you're going to sue someone for medical malpractice. Who did this? I'm not crazy about these. Because how many times in your life are you going to sue somebody for medical malpractice? I mean, it could be. If you feel like that, make sure you say it, because stranger things have happened. I have felt something in a reading that I thought, wow, this is really super specific, and I'm going to look like an idiot if I say it. And it's not right. And then it turns out, yep, that's it. So make sure you say it if you think that the other cards are pointing to that, and that's your feeling, is that you're getting that. Make sure you say it, or at least offer it as a suggestion. And that's what I usually do. If you, I'll give you an example. The Devil card, one of the meanings of the Devil card is drug abuse. And that could mean their own drug abuse, or someone else that is close to them is having drug abuse and it's affecting them. It's kind of weighing them down. And that's a hard thing to bring up. And one of the things that I'm going to be doing a video on very shortly that Deb actually suggested is on the ethics of tarot reading. And that's all part of it. How far do you go? How much do you say? And that's going to depend on what kind of a reader you decide to be. So for me, I kind of put it out there as a suggestion. If I really feel, I won't say that a whole lot in a Devil reading. If I get the Devil card, I don't very often say, okay, is there drug addiction? because that's kind of a hard thing to bring up, right? But what I found is if I feel that and I don't say it, that could be a problem, because I have felt that and I've waited and waited and nothing was really resonating, and I said, well, the other thing is it could indicate an addiction. And immediately it was, oh yeah. And I thought, okay, well, that'll teach me. I don't like to do the doom and gloom readings, but sometimes it has to be. Health being in balance, balanced diet. Yes, exactly, Stephen. It has the meaning of balance. Therefore, justice can also be a sign that you must balance your mental and physical health. Do you want to be as healthy as possible? Then make sure you're balancing both. Sometimes it means physically that you need to be in balance. So you need a chiropractic adjustment. Sometimes there's some things out of alignment. Don't forget that some cards call this, the Justice card, the alignment card. So there's some things out of balance. So you might need a chiropractic visit. Your brain chemicals might be off. You may need to look into some new meds, or a med you went on may not be quite the right one. You need balance in your health in general. So if it's a health reading, that's what you're going to talk about. I don't like hers or his, her. I don't know who it is, her or his. I'm not crazy about hers. Relationships. So if it's a love reading, you will be reviewing the quality of life and relationships, and you will realize that that quality is what you want. You may still feel a little isolated and unhappy as an essential or personal ingredient seems to be missing. One cycle is going to end and a new one will begin. Any tense situations around now will become more flexible. All right, kind of. It's funny, because I'm a reader, if it's not what I say, I'm going to be like, no, I don't say that. So you have to come up with your own rapport, right? But with justice, if I have a love reading that has justice, and you can start with, if you've been having some conflicts within your relationship, look at what those conflicts are and how they need to be resolved. You may need to try to pull some of the emotion out of it in order to balance the scales correctly. Don't forget that sword is up in the air like the Queen of Swords, meaning try not to just make your decisions about this conflict with equal give and take. Yes, exactly. Try not to make the decision just with your emotions, which for us women sometimes is hard. But try to pull some of that out and make sure you're making a balanced look at everything. Not one-sided relationship. Exactly. How much are you giving and how much are they giving? Make sure that that's in balance. It could mean a mutual reconciliation. It could mean if you're not in a relationship or you're looking for a relationship, is there a relationship that you've given up that you still have very strong feelings for? It could mean a reconciliation that both of you want. It could mean the opposite. That's right, that double-edged sword. Resolution of disagreements, or it could mean you're looking at divorce court. Depends on which side of the sword means balance for that situation. That's why it's hard. A lot of people have a hard time. I've been using Insight Timer. Yay! Oh, good. Jamila, I'm so glad. Good night, Samantha. Or parting of ways. Yep. When you are reading for someone else, you have to feel the situation. So it's hard for me to say what you should say in a reading, because you're looking at the energy as a whole and deciding which part of that sword they're on. And so when you talk to them, you're asking for resonation. Does that resonate with you at all? A decision needs to be made. Yes, yes, yes. And if none of it resonates, then you kind of switch to the opposite side of the sword. Okay, so maybe you're getting back some of what you put out. Perhaps you were not the kindest person in this relationship, and now you're kind of getting that justice is coming back to bite you. And that could be why. You may have both adopted opposing attitudes and have been locked in a battle nobody could win. Right? For sure. In a money reading, there will be a new business opportunity available to you soon. Your accounts will be squared, problem solved, and bills paid with money spare you. Will also recognize what's wrong and come to the right conclusions. Consequences of actions. And that's one of the biggest meanings of, if you're going to put it down to, a single phrase, consequences of action. I always say karmic justice, because to me, what you give out there is what you're getting back. So if you're getting out in a situation love and light and positivity, and you're trying to work with it and you're doing the best you can, that you're going to get that back. If you get the justice card, that means, okay, that's going to come back to you. I know you've been really putting it out there. You feel like you're the only one, but it's coming back now. If you haven't been very patient, if it's been a bad situation, in whatever kind of reading you're talking about, if you were kind of selfish and you kind of didn't save as much money as you were supposed to, and your husband said, why the fuck are you still spending money? And you're going, well, because I really fucking wanted it. Then karmic justice is coming back to bite you, and now you won't have any money for a while. Right? If it's the opposite, if you've really been saving, if you really have been trying, if you're really putting yourself out there, then karmic justice is coming back. You have some goodness coming your way. So consequences of action is a huge, huge point with the justice card. Okay. Did we get to everything? Did we miss anything in the new format here? Typical questions. How'd we do, guys? Do you feel like this format is going to work? Did you learn something? Was it as good? Is there anything you want to change? Could it be anything to do with your chakras? Yes, 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 and absolutely. Definitely. Just like I said, the alignment thing, if it's a health thing and your balance or your back is hurting and stuff, you need that balance to align itself. You need to go to a chiropractor. If it's your chakras need to be imbalanced, then you need to balance your chakras out for sure. Enjoyed it? Digging the format? Good, good, good. Perfect. I know it's a lot. It's a long study. Good, good. Had just as many aha moments. Good. That makes me feel good. Because I do feel the only thing with this new format, even though I do like it, I feel like I'm missing a lot of your guys' comments. And it may help for me, if I watch it back tomorrow or something, then, I'll be able to see more of your comments. I sometimes feel like I was getting just as much as you guys were. But no, we're doing all of them, not just the majors. It's good this way. You like it? Good. Feel like your intuition is opening up? Awesome. Good. Okay, so I am shuffling the deck. We are going to pick next week's cards. Next week's card. We're doing one a week. Don't forget, yes, discussion can keep on going. If you guys have new insights, go into the event and put your insights down there. If you find, a card that you're like, oh, this is an amazing, you pick the Buffalo card. I miss you on here, Justin. I'm glad to see you here. If you find a perfect justice card, post it on this event. We have the event. It's in the Facebook group under the events. And as soon as I'm done here, before I do anything else, I'm going to make the event for next week because we're pulling the card right now. Okay? Good, Rowena. Welcome. I'm glad. Here we go. If you are not a part of the Facebook group and you would like to be, I believe I changed it and it's underneath. It's on the down bar right now. I hope. Please, please, please. Yes, it is. It's on the down bar right now. Yay! Is our Facebook group. All you need to do is answer the 2 questions, which are you subscribed? And what's your YouTube name? And then we'll let you right in. Okay? We do a lot of discussion on there also. So please feel free to join that. I would appreciate it if you would click the like button. Click on the notification bell so you get notified when I'm on live. And when we upload a new video. And if you don't have Facebook, that's okay, honey. I'm just letting you know there's more to see on the Facebook page too. All right, so here we go. Ready? Totally random. And the Pinterest is there. That's right. My Pinterest page is on there too. I tried to put all the things that I thought we would need. All right. This is 8 of Swords. Next week's card is the 8 of Swords. Oh no. Oh no. What? Oh no. I love the Swords cards. So I am going to go make an event right now. It will be up within 5 minutes. There will be a new event for the 8 of Swords for next week's Tarot Tuesday with the 8 of Swords. Feel free to start. I probably won't post a whole bunch tonight, but I will tomorrow. But I will get the event started tonight. Feel free to post questions, to post cards that you'd like to see, to post whatever you want as it relates to the 8 of Swords. Okay? And if you have new insights on the Justice card, which we did tonight, do that on the Justice event, okay? All right. I thought this was great. I love you guys. Have a great night. I will most likely be on tomorrow. I think I'm just going to upload a couple videos tomorrow, to be honest with you, and then I'll be on Thursday. So I love you. Blessings.